Stopa.
Okay, so you're one of the other Republicans?
Am I what? Sorry?
What do you run as?
I'm a Republican running for Congress in the 3rd District of Massachusetts. My opponent is James McGovern. And I'm a physicist at Harvard University. My specialty is nanotechnology, and this is the first time I've run for office, and it's been an inspiring and interesting experience. Since the time of doing collection of signatures in supermarkets back in February, we've had a fairly successful campaign. We've published an op-ed in the Boston Globe in favor of the Arizona law. We published an op-ed in the Metro West Daily News opposing the Obama administration's position on recidivism and terrorism. And last Wednesday, I was on Sean Hannity's show in the Fox News channel in New York City as a member of the great American panel. Any questions?
What's your stance on drilling in the offshore? Do you think we should still do it after what happened with the Gulf of Mexico?
Excellent question. I think that the likelihood of another accident in the near future is small, and punishing people further economically in the region when they're undergoing tremendous economic stress now is probably not necessary. We certainly need to be sure that the kinds of wells that have the capacity to blow out, like the wells in the Deepwater Horizon well, should be safe. But I don't think that extending the moratorium right now is a good idea.
You don't think the fishermen did get some stress from them because their merchandise was damaged?
I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
The fishermen, some of their merchandise was damaged from the oil.
Oh no, I think it's a catastrophe.
Yeah.
Oh no, don't get me wrong. The Deepwater Horizon blowout and the oil in the Gulf is a full-scale disaster, and it breaks your heart every time you hear about what's going on to the people there. To say nothing of all the animals, millions of animals that are dying with oil covered in them. No, this is a horrible situation. I just don't think that it makes sense to suspend well licenses, because I think we can check them all in a reasonable amount of time and make sure that they're, the last time we had a blowout of this kind was in 1979. It was a Mexican-run company, or a Mexican-owned company in the Western Gulf. It was called Ixtoc. It was owned by the Pemex company. Oil ran for 10 months and was finally stopped by a relief well drilled into the main well. The shrimp fishing in that region near the Yucatan Peninsula was gone for 2 years, but it did eventually recover. And one thing that people should know, as hard as it is now, is it's good to tell people that things will be all right. The Gulf will recover. In the case of the Pemex oil spill, the oil-eating bacteria actually helped a great deal. The naturally occurring oil-eating bacteria helped, and that will help now. It is, in fact, better that the spill was in deep water, because less oil is coming to the shores than if the spill were right on the shoreline. So it's a horrible situation. It's an absolute catastrophe, but I still think we cannot put a moratorium, and I don't think it's practical. I don't think it makes any sense. I don't think it's likely to make any change, and we can just do a more serious enforcement of the regulations that are already enforced.
Okay, on immigration, do you think more states should go the way of Arizona, or?
Yes, I think that more states should go in the way of Arizona. I think more states will go. Now, Arizona was not the first law that tried on a state level to enforce immigration laws. In fact, Arizona itself in 2007 passed a workplace enforcement law, which has been on the books for 3 years. Missouri has a law for immigration enforcement. Rhode Island has laws for immigration enforcement. I believe that this law will be found to be constitutional constitutionally valid because the supremacy clause doesn't apply because the federal government is not making serious efforts to enforce the law in Arizona or any other place. So at this point, I believe that the states have realized that the federal government is not going to do the job and that they can. As a member of Congress, what I think I should do is to promote the writing and passing of legislation that helps the states to do the job. One example that we proposed is that the Social Security Administration, which every year sends out so-called no-match letters to employers who have submitted W-2 forms where the Social Security number and name don't match the Social Security number and name which the Social Security Administration has on file, hence the name no match. They send no match letters to employers, millions of them all over the country, and this is often an indicator that somebody is employing an illegal alien. We could direct the Social Security Administration to send copies of those no-match letters to the Attorney Generals of the states where the employers reside. So then, if the states should decide in their legislatures or in ballots to do something with those letters, such as, for example, publish them, they could do that. So I asked people, well, suppose that your state had published the no-match letters for your state employers, and you find that one supermarket chain has, in the past year, 17 no-match letters, and another supermarket chain in the past year has 2,017 no-match letters. Let people decide, where do I want to shop? Do I want to shop at the place where somebody's flaunting the law, or would I like to shop in a place where somebody's doing the best that they can to employ Americans and not use illegal labor?
Okay. Thank you.
Mike Stopa.
Yep.
For Congress, 3rd District against McGovern.
Yep. Thank you.